Hello and welcome to a new video in Practical Sheets. Today we're doing the part 2 of the reservation system we have built with Google Forms and Google Sheets. Just as a reminder, what we did was have a form that serves as a reservation system and that we have some dates and some hours. Okay. What I want to do now, today, is to book some hours. What do I mean? Let's say, so I'm going to delete all this and let's do an example. Let's say anything here. Let's choose September 23 at 10 a.m. and submit. We have it here. Okay, good. But then the next person is going to go and do the reservation at September 23 at 10 a.m. and it lets him. Okay. So one possibility would be to do some kind of table where I book here in Sheets and see which ones are booked, and then I can close it here. The problem with this is that Google Forms currently doesn't have support for dependent dropdowns. This means that how does our know that date has chosen the 23? I could block 10, but I would block 10 for all the dates. Unfortunately, I think Forms is not the most appropriate way of doing this. The most appropriate way would be with a user form or an HTML form. But this requires a lot more code, it's more complex. So let's see how we can turn around this. Then in the future we can do a project where we do it in an HTML form or a user form or something like that. But right now, let's see how we can use forms and do some tricks to do it. So the way I think we can do it is to do this in the date and hour form. So we are going to delete this hour and we're just going to have a date and hour field. So here, I'm going to my form. I access my form here in edit form. And given that this is not a date field, but a dropdown, then the only thing I have to change is to add the hour here. I can say 10 a.m. for all of them. And I'm going to delete this. Then in my code, I have to make sure that I delete anything about the hour. I'm going to delete my hour also here. And go into my code. And here I'm going to change everything that says hours. Hours list. Everything I'm going to do it just with dates. So the hour question, I don't need it. Let's see if it works. It should continue working fine, but without the hour. So let's just add a new one here, 9:30 at 10 a.m. Remember to check that you have your trigger on. And also make sure that the ID is correct. That's it. Now it should work. And it works. Then you can change the format however you want of the answers. But if I refresh here, then I go date and I have my dates. So I'm going to submit a new answer. I have submitted it. I have it here. So I have September 21 at 10 a.m. So in some way, we should know that September 21 is booked. Okay, so here I'm going to say day of the week. Remember, we put this just as a reminder, so we don't put accidentally Sundays if we don't want or something like that. So I can have here do this as an array formula. For now, I think later we're going to change this once we sync up with Google Calendar and all that, but at the beginning I want to set up this straight just with forms, and then we can move up the ladder of applications. So let's give it Ctrl-Shift-Enter or Command-Shift-Enter for array formula. Here I have an error because I have these cells filled out. I have it, but I have this Saturday that I don't like. So I'm going to say here that if A2 to A it's equal to blank, let's keep it blank, and if not, do the text formula. That's okay. So if the good thing about this array formula is that if I add a new one, then I have it here and I know it's Sunday, so I don't want it or whatever. But what I was going to do originally was to have here a state, let's say booked. We would assume that the easiest way is to go with a VLOOKUP, but the VLOOKUP won't work for a number of reasons. One reason is that this comes here as a text, and the second reason is that sometimes the hours come with many decimal numbers. So it's going to bring us a lot of errors. So if I come here, see this is 9/21/2021 at 10 a.m. So I'm going to do a VLOOKUP just to show you. I'm going to look for this here in the first column, exact match, and it doesn't add up. So let's try to do some modifications. We're going to do some modifications to reservations. Given that we're going to do them to all the column, then I need to use array formula as we did here. Okay. So first we're going to convert this to a number. I'm going to do it here in another column. I'm going to do reservations VV, but I'm going to include it in the value function and do Ctrl+Shift+Enter as an array formula. Okay, so now I have it as a value. With this value, I think that it could work. So I'm going to add this array formula inside my VLOOKUP. That's it. And he found it. It found it. I'm going to fill this up. As I'm not sure it's going to work in all the cases, I'm going to round this up. I'm going to show you very quickly how Sheets handles the dates, the hours especially. So here are my dates. I'm going to copy and paste as values. And you see that it's a decimal between 0 and 1. So let's round this up to see where we can draw the line. If we round too much to just one decimal value, I have 8:30, 9, 9:30, and 10 all will go to 0.4, so it doesn't work for me. If I move it up one decimal value more, then it doesn't repeat. 33, 35, 38, 40, 42, 44. So this is good. So I can round it to the second decimal place. So here I'm going to round this value. I think I can remove the value because I'm going to round, so it automatically will convert it to a number. So let's put here comma and 2. But I have to also round up this one so they match up. So I will also round this up and it works. I'm just preparing for cases where it won't work without this. Erase this. I'm going to put this up and also do an array formula. A2 to A and Ctrl+Shift+Enter, and it's perfect. And then I could do that if the same thing I did here. If A2 equals to quotation marks, then leave quotation marks here. And that's it. It closes automatically my formula and then it leaves it blank where it should leave. So I need one thing else in my formula is that this doesn't look nice and I want to know if it's booked or not booked. That's it. So what I can say is that if this VLOOKUP is an error, if is error formula and I put inside the VLOOKUP, then I'm going to say that it's free. It didn't find it, so this particular date and hour, it's free. If not, it's booked. I did something wrong. I think I need one parenthesis more here and erase this one and it's worked. Okay, so I know this is booked. Let's try it again. Let's submit another response. And let's do this 9:27. Submit. And automatically I have this as booked. So what remains is that once this happens, I need to update my form so that the next person that enters cannot see the ones that are booked. So I'm going to go to my project. I haven't put a title to this, reservations. Before this, what I want to do is to make this get range, make it bigger, because I was bringing just these dates. Now I need to bring all these 3 columns so I can check if it's booked or not. So I'm going to say to add a comma here and 3 to say that I'm going to go 3 columns. And before this map, I'm going to add a filter function, which does that. Filters. I'm going to filter again my row, similar to what we did in the previous video with the map. But now what I'm going to filter is what in my row 2, that is in my 3rd column, it's equal to 3. And then I can map it as a list. So I think we don't need anything else. Let's save it. And let's see. Remember, this code runs when I edit something right now. So I'm going to edit here. I'm going to add, to change something here. This, I'm going to leave it 11 a.m. And let's go to our reservation. So you can see that I don't have the 21st of September and I don't have the 27th of September also. So what I need to do is to create another trigger, because remember, this function only works when I edit this. So if I do a new one, let's say, let's submit another response and an email, and I'm going to add this, the 920, and submit, and then submit another response. You can see that here I still have the 920 because the code only runs when I edit this. So I need to add a new trigger. So here I'm going to go to triggers and add a new trigger for the same function, fill out dates, but I'm going to say that it's on form submit. Every time my form is submitted, please run this code again. And let's do it. Refresh this. Again, an email will do. And I'm going to add here the October 1st. I'm going to submit. I'm going to submit another response. And then I don't have the 21st and I don't have the 1st of October because it's already booked. Okay? So this is it. For now, I think it works really well. In the 3rd part, what I'm going to do is sync this up with Google Calendar to make it easier to handle the dates and all that. Maybe we can create some slots in Google Calendar where I'm free. Something like that we could do. Right now, I think it works really well. You just have to do manually the dates. You can remove this if you like, but just be careful that if you remove this, then you should change this for row 1. Just that. I think we're moving along. And as always, you'll find the template in the Patreon page. And please give me your suggestions so we can improve this every day. Thank you so much. See you the next time.